What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with ZaPristo, castle levels of 23. Let's jump into it and see what he's got. Alright, so he's using the Smelly Warrior thing where you can resurrect him using the life force of another creature. As you can see, like, these guys don't really do a ton of damage. Personally, I think it's one of the weaker specializations on them, but like, I'm not a big fan of Smelly Warriors to begin with. I have to say, that was a good setup though, I liked that. I like the Cyclops kind of coming in from the side and having the Zeke right there. Seeing a Zeke, the one thing that I'm going to say is, like, seeing a Zeke like this, without a Defendatron on them, is kind of a giveaway to certain players that there's going to be a Cyclops, because there's only a couple situations where Zekes are really good, and that's being defended by a Defendatron for, like, the sustained damage and hoping that one of their shots hit, and then the Cyclops charge where you're kind of forcing to hit a little bit more often. So I don't know if you could put this somewhere a little bit more out of the way so the guy doesn't know that it's coming, but that's the only thing I could recommend with that. But it's still a good setup either way. Alright, so like the same thing here. I can see the Zeke, he's not defended. I'm guessing that there's going to be a Cyclops coming in from some certain angle. So as you can see, it's right there. So I'm going to kind of like aggro the group a little bit more cautiously and pull back a little bit to see where the Cyclops comes from. Because it only takes me like 1 or 2 seconds to pull back and wait for something, rather than getting hit and taking a ton of extra damage. That one I didn't see coming nearly as much, but I'm pretty good at dodging those sort of things. Alright, so you have, it looks like 2 groups here. The Crushulator, not another one of the units I'm not a huge fan of, just because I think his resistances are a little bit low. Like every elite that was added during that patch, there's like the IMAX, the Crushulator, and the Vampire one. I'm actually going to pull the second group first, just because I can. I think in this circumstance your Mega Button is a little bit exposed. This group isn't really exposed at all. It looks like I'm going to crash. Nope. I made it through. Usually those little freezes tend to have a crash associated to them, but it looks like it might have been fixed as well. I don't know. I haven't crashed since the new patch came out, so we'll see. But either way, what I'm gonna say is, like, the Mega Button sitting right here, you don't really want to have someone be able to, you know, just straight up headshot your Mega Button down. Or I mean, they wouldn't probably one-shot it, but it'll chunk it down to at least half health or something. And I think you want to have it more behind a wall or something, you know, a little less exposed. That was kind of an interesting group that you had. I was a little confused. I'm guessing the Defendatron is by himself? No, the Defendatron's linked to everything, right? It looks kind of like it's linked to everything. You only have 7 and 13. I don't know why I keep getting those little stutters. It's really weird. But yeah, I think it's all linked together. You just kind of wanted the charge to hit and then the Defendatron to link to him. I'm not 100% sure why you had the Defendatron in that specific area. It was kind of weird, but that's alright nonetheless. Like, a lot of these groups, like, I'm pretty sure this one specifically, if I would have just launched a headshot straight down there, I would have killed either the Hungerbot or the Cyclops, and you would have had one useless Defendatron because you don't have him close enough to already be defending the unit. Which, a lot of circumstances, that's okay. And it's not really the worst thing in the world, but I just want to point out that, like, you can have something being defended if you didn't know. Like, you can have something being defended before you actually aggro the group. Kind of like this. You have it working right here, so that, you know, I can't really engage this the way I want to. Actually, I could skip this group though. That's one thing that isn't very good for you. I would put this derp more out in front so that it's covering this entrance, because what I can do now is just kind of skip this group, go onto your boss room, and not even have to worry about it. So again, your Robo Shieldatron wasn't linked to your or Pete Poundmore, so I was able to one-shot him, which most people won't be able to do. I'll say that. But I was able to do it. Whereas if he was already being defended, if like these two guys were close enough to each other, I would have had to engage the, Robo Shieldertron before the Pete Poundmore. So something to think about. It's not a bad castle. You had quite a few areas where you had, your units not exposed and out of the way enough where it wouldn't have really mattered to most attackers. As well as, some of those Cyclops things were really good. You should get at least a couple kills from those by itself. So we will jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have Sgan. Seganjohn, I don't know, castle level is a 28. We will jump into it. Let's see. Alright, so this is maybe a pull through the wall? Yeah, it looks like it is. I'm going to pull 2 groups, kind of on accident to be honest. I just saw the Snotter out of the corner of my eye and I realized I was pulling 2 groups. So a lot of Explodifiers here. Explodifiers kind of got a nerf. As I think most people are aware at this point. So basically, if you're not aware though, Explodifiers now need to see you in order to start launching bomblets. So it kind of reduces their range quite a bit in a lot of rooms, especially this one. And pretty much at the start of a castle, if you pull it through a wall, you can kind of just hide behind this little thing here and they'll walk to you, and they're a lot quicker walking because they don't attack in between it as well. Alright. I'm still actually unsure of how targeted attacks work, because this castle's shielded, but I'm still getting drops from it. Maybe only friends? Could that be the case? I'm not sure if I have him added to my friends list or not. I know a lot of viewers just add me, and I accept all of them. I don't know if there's a limit on friends. I hope there's not, because I have a ton of them right now. But either way, I'm not 100% sure how it's working. Alright, this could hurt. This could kill me? Possibly? No. I was able to get out of it, but I think that would have killed a lot of people your level. 28 or lower. I believe I pulled 2 groups because there's too many mobs to not pull 2 groups. It works well together. The Cyclops combo well with archers. They're just kind of annoying space control units at level 28 especially because they have that longer range. Alright, are these fakes or are they actually pulling something? Okay, they're actually pulling something. Hungerbot on hook specialization. Generally what I've noticed is actually hooking people past Cyclopses, it doesn't work nearly as well as it kind of would, you would assume it would work, because what will happen is the Hungerbot will be behind the Cyclops and it'll hook me towards it, and then it'll pull me through the Cyclops and he'll go for his stun at the first possible area that he'd see the hero, that it would come within range. So as I'm being hooked, he would go towards this way, and by the time he went down, it would kind of auto dodge, and I would be past the Cyclops in that situation. So it's kind of only certain situations where you're have the Hungerbot right in front of the Cyclops. It pulls it to him, and then the Cyclops, smashes down on your head. That's really the only situation where it actually works the way you kind of would think it would work. This can be dangerous. I can pull this back quite a bit though, and be okay. Because there is a little bit of room to work with in this room. That made a lot of sense, but yeah. There's a lot of space that you can work with in this little T-junction room. So, it's a good setup either way. I mean, the mines are a little bit annoying, but you can pull it back beyond the trap and still be alright. Alright, so again, Explodifiers, you'll be able to see them. They're not going to launch any bombs until they get to me until they get within sight of me. So I could drop a volley right here, they'll walk all the way through it, and then finally drop their bomblets right here. They do end up dropping multiple bomblets at the first, like their first sight of a hero. They spawn like 3 each or something. Alright. It's a little bit scary. Would be obviously more scary if it was a charged Cyclops. You know, this one takes a little bit of time to swing, so I was able to dodge out of that and then just kind of wait for the archers to shoot until take care of everything. Alright. Is there anything down there? It looks like there are some Stairmasters somewhere in here. So I'm going to drop a volley over there. That way I don't have to go over the trap multiple times. Okay. This could be a little annoying. I'm not sure if I would have been able to pull this. This is similar to a setup that I have, except mine's my spike trap is actually a little bit farther down the hallway. And I'm trying to find a way to engage this properly, and it looks like I don't have any angles, mainly because of this well-placed mine right here. This mine specifically makes it so that I can't headshot this Defendatron, which is really good. I think I actually want to test to see if I would be able to pull it. I think I can pull it over the wall if I get close to the spike trap, drop a volley right here. I think I can pull it over the spike trap. So that's one thing that you can, you know, note that they'll be able to do. Attackers will be able to do if they're, you know, playing kind of smart. All you really have to do is kind of mouse your, you know, use your mouse to go around in this area, and it'll pop up the name of anything that's over there. Alright, here I can get an angle on the Defendatron, and then stun the Jimbo. That should be pretty easy to take care of. Bear traps really shut down a lot of these units. I think it probably should get nerfed. I don't know. I would be fine with it getting nerfed because I used to use Caltrops anyway all the time. But like, there's no reason not to use bear traps at this point with an archer. They're pretty good. Alright. Then what do you have for the boss room? Alright, so how I'm going to engage this is I think I'm going to drop a volley and then instantly headshot the Scorpio as well. Because the volley will do quite a bit of damage. It'll kill off the dampener most likely. Do damage to the Defendatron, and with the headshot I might be able to one-shot the Scorpio before it gets any attacks in. Or at least come close to it. Because there's a little delay on the Scorpio pull, and as well as obviously the Zeke headshot has quite a bit of a delay, so I was able to get that off without really getting hit by it. The dampener actually lived through the volley, which is quite nice. But yeah, I mean, I only got 1 star, pretty good castle overall. I had to use 1 potion. Not too bad. There's a couple areas you could see where I was able to pull your creatures over spike traps, which it's almost always possible in some way. You just have to kind of figure it out per spike trap. If there's creatures on the other side, generally you can pull it as an archer, using either volley or headshot or something, depending on where the creatures are. Or if you can't, then you're going to be able to get over the spike trap and see what's there before you have to engage it, because it'll be too far away from the spike trap. But yeah, you know, it adds to your sustained damage. If you're able to make them go over the spike trap multiple times, like I've said in other episodes. So we will jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, next up is Braless. Cast levels at 16, so I will use my Knight on this one. Alright, so that's it. This is pretty good. The only problem is, you know, obviously camera rotation makes it so that I can see what's coming. So I kind of know the setup before I get there. The only thing that you could do to fix that up a little bit is maybe move the Snotter down a little bit more, like in this area, instead of up here. If you put them on the other side of this, you might be able to deny vision, but probably not. either way, someone's going to be able to see this coming and kind of know what's happening when they see a Cyclops plus a lot of archers, like the same as this area here. If you don't put something immediately behind a corner, you can always see what's coming beforehand because the camera is just so far away from where the aggro circles actually are. So what I will do here is I'll probably just pull the Cyclops to me, and then I don't have to worry about the charge, and then I can dodge the arrows and clean up everything after that. Alright. Can I sneak by this? So this group here is skippable. You'll want to fix that. Move your Snotter down at least 1 hex. And then this one, you can kind of abuse this corner. What you can do to try to stop that is put a trap besides this little mine trap. You want to put like a ballista or something, so that when I'm waiting around this corner, I'm getting hit by, you know, at least a trap. Something that's doing damage that's a little bit irritating to the person trying to wait around for it. It's really the only thing you can do. Alright. Alright, so we have a Hungerbot going for this springboard trap here, so I have to be aware of that. Just gonna pull it back into the next room. Alright. So like the same thing here, you know, if you can see what's coming beforehand, it's a lot easier to set up kind of a game plan before you're going into the room. Alright, couple pulls through the wall. Looks like at this T-junction room. So what do we have? Defendatron with a Dr. Skull. I'm wondering if he's going to be on Resurrect. If he is, I should engage him before anything else. But it looks like he might be on heal. Yeah, he's on heal. Alright. That's not a big deal. Especially for me, obviously, because I have higher DPS. And of course I would get a legendary drop in a castle that I probably won't use any of the gear, but it's okay. But yeah, I think in this circumstance, you're kind of around that level where you can still make Dr. Skulls on Resurrect work a little bit. So you could think about, you know, using that instead. I've always said basically that I don't think Dr. Skull as a healer is useful anywhere besides the boss room, because you're using 10 points as just a heal, as like just a support unit, and I think that's a little bit too much. Obviously, if I double pulled, it would work a lot better for you. But I mean, that heal is only going to really be effective on Defendatron, which 10 points to heal one, you know, 5-point Defendatron is really the only thing you're getting out of that, which isn't really that worth it. So I tend to stick to using Bone Puppeteers as my supports throughout my castle, and then if I want to use a Dr. Skull, I'll throw them in my boss room because there's a lot more points available to me. Like here, I would say it's okay to use a Dr. Skull because you have 2 huge creatures here that can, you know, benefit from it. All right. So that is number 3. So we'll end the video here. As always, you know, if you guys enjoy what I do, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you want to be a part of ViewerCasts, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. I'm starting to catch up a little bit, so hopefully I'll be able to get through all of these within, you know, the next couple of days. I've been doing a lot more viewer castles, although Thanksgiving is probably when this video comes out. It's going to be today or yesterday. It's kind of weird thinking about people watching my video in the future, but yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.